Mr. Speaker, with strong reservations and brief comment.
So ordered.
Please
proceed.
Mr. Speaker, this resolution requesting the governor to establish a working group to develop a conservation action plan to explore and identify conservation alternatives for the undeveloped portions of the Turtle Bay Hotel and resort property and surrounding lands with conservation or historic value rose, Mr. Speaker, out of a bill that originally requested $100 million to purchase this land that's mentioned here. Mr. Speaker, today, the Kahuku schools were on lockdown because of a bomb scare that happened earlier this morning, Mr. Speaker. There are issues that are directly related to the education system, to the schools that we have in my community, Mr. Speaker, that have a much higher priority than this measure and the origins of this measure right here, Mr. Speaker. And I continue to rise and state my reservations in regards to this, Mr. Speaker, is because I can't emphasize enough the issues of poverty that afflict my community, how it shortens lives, how it causes unnecessary pain and suffering in my community, Mr. Speaker. And to request that we look into the possibility of diverting tens of millions of dollars, Mr. Speaker, away from what I believe should be the priority in my community in addressing the 80%, almost 80% in a number of schools in my community of children in poverty whose families can't even afford the meals which they eat, Mr. Speaker. I mean, this is an issue that I think is overlooked too often when we have special interest groups who have significant amounts of funding, who come in every day to come and lobby for a particular effort, Mr. Speaker. And the poor kids in my neighborhood, whose parents barely make it by from day to day, they don't have some fancy lobbyist to come in and talk to the legislators here and give the concerns that are afflicting them and their families, Mr. Speaker. And so my concerns with this measure is that this has the potential of moving in the direction of diverting tens of millions of dollars of taxpayer money, which we collect from people, including the widow that lives next door to me, and taking that to purchase this land, Mr. Speaker, which I think could very well be a good cause, but it needs to be put in its appropriate position on the priority list of the concerns that come out of my community, Mr. Speaker. And those kids in poverty and our senior citizens who are living on fixed incomes in a time and place where costs of living continue to rise with no foreseeable decrease in the near future, Mr. Speaker. So I would like to have my strong reservations noted, Mr. Speaker, in regards to this measure, and I hope that with the limited resources and the economic situation, which we find very challenging at this time, that we focus those resources where they will do the most good for those who are most in need, Mr. Speaker.
All right, thank you. Thank you.